Mr. Leon Pereira.
Question 4, please.
All MSEP beneficiaries are locally incorporated or registered business entities. They will need to be such in order to hire work permit or S-Pass holders to benefit from the MSEP scheme. Thank you.
Let's keep the ball rolling. Mr. Leon Pereira, please.
I thank the Minister for his concise answer. My question was really of the 1,000 or so are qualified. How many are locally owned businesses versus as opposed to foreign MNCs? And I have another SQ, which is relating to the press release, I think, that was put out by the MOM. So the press release said that at the end of the 2-year period, firms will have to demonstrate that they maintain their local workforce share during this period. So the MSEP scheme is actually allowing firms to hire more Work Pass and S-Pass holders during that 2-year period. So I just wanted to clarify what that sentence is referring to, that at the end of the 2-year period, firms will also have to maintain their local workforce share. Because if you are allowed to hire more of these W Pass and S Pass holders, by definition, wouldn't your local workforce share go down at the end of that 2-year period, unless you are not exercising as a company, the ability to hire more of those, which would also defeat the point of the scheme. So I just want to clarify that. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I beg your indulgence because this needs a bit of time to go through. Now, the actual proportion to your first SQ, the actual proportion depends on the firms which successfully apply for the initiatives listed, which is under Condition 1. And under Condition 1, in terms of fulfillment of the MSEP scheme, there are actually 16 programs that's listed. For me to go through the exact details of the MSEP scheme itself, perhaps you could separately file a PQ. I'm happy to walk you through. So that is the qualifying criteria. So of the firms today that are currently eligible for MSEP, about 40% of them have local shareholding of at least 30%. Having local shareholding is not a prerequisite for MSEP. What is more important in the entire MSEP scheme is that they contribute to our growth and they create opportunities for Singaporeans. Hence, these firms must be locally incorporated or registered. The way MSEP is selective in targeting firms or investments which will grow our in this particular way itself, MSEP is very selective in targeting firms or investments which will grow our economy and our competitiveness. And really, to be part of these programs, the firms would have been working closely with our economic agencies like EDB or Enterprise Singapore. So, to your second point, in terms of the end of the 2-year period, it should not be taken in isolation. If you look at the overall flow in terms of the scheme from the fulfillment of Condition 1, then really the 2-year mark in terms of the concentration of a higher concentration of foreign workforce or that potential should not be any impediment whatsoever, because the ultimate fulfillment of the conditions is really about growing our economy, our competitiveness, and at the same time making sure that our locals continue to be put up front in terms of the training, in terms of the upskilling. Thank you.
Mr. Pereira.
Yeah, thank the Minister for his reply. Just a very quick one on the second SQ. So in terms of this reference to at the end of the 2-year period, you have to maintain your local workforce share. So if I understand the Minister correctly, I suppose that is referring to just maintain the absolute number of locals that the firm is hiring rather than the share of locals as a percentage. Is that the correct understanding? Thank you.
I thank the member for his persistence in trying to extract, some measure so that he can come back in 2 years' time and put a check. I think the entire focus, as I've spent over an hour yesterday in my COS speech, is really to focus on leveling up our competitiveness, maintaining our lead against the whole business world. Therefore, it is important that in the scheme that we put up, and today, given where we are, we have actually very tightly scoped up these companies that qualify under the MSAP scheme itself. So you should look at it from that context. In a broader macroeconomics of how we look at our workforce, the change overall of that 1/3, 2/3 ratio will still maintain. So if you are going to sort of look at one particular aspect of the entire plethora of schemes that we have available and say that this particular scheme is going to result in an over-concentration, that is not going to happen. I hope that gives you enough reassurance. This is, again, very tightly scoped. These are companies that EDB and ESG work very closely with, and the number of work passes that is going to be awarded through MSAP would not move the needle significantly. It is really meant to see how we can provide these companies to have a leg up to fulfill our strategic economic priorities. Thank you.